Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to get started. Work has been really busy and kind of weighing me down over the last few weeks, and so got time for a short video today. And really what we're going to focus on today is starting the painting process. We're going to paint everything the flat black and get it ready to start doing the detailed painting in the next video when I have a little more time. But it's been a few weeks, a couple of weeks at least, and so I wanted to get a video out to you. So with that, let's jump in and take a look at the parts and pieces and supplies that we're going to need to get this thing painted. Okay, so for supplies, we don't need too many. The first and most important is this can of spray paint. Now, if you can look right here, it says water-based paint. You must, and I'll repeat that, you must use a water-based spray paint if you're going to use spray paint. Typically, for all the detail work, I'll use craft paint, acrylic craft paint that you get at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, places like that. But for speed and efficiency, and just to cover everything in black, I like to use a water-based spray paint. I get this brand here, Evolution, off of Amazon. I get a box of 6 cans of this for about 40 bucks or so. The prices may vary, but this is what I use. And so you need that first and foremost. Again, make sure that it's water-based. If you don't, and you use normal aerosol spray paint, it will eat through your foam. And you don't want to take something that you've already put detail in and have the foam just melt with the wrong type of paint. So it has to be water-based. Hopefully I've made that very clear. You've got it, okay? The next thing we're gonna take is some Solo cups, red Solo cups, partially in tribute to Toby Keith, but mostly due to holding stuff up off the table as we paint it. It makes it a little bit easier. And speaking of holding things up while we paint it, I love these skewers. Okay, so these food skewers, you can see here, I've used this one before. You basically put this into the foam and then you can hold it and spray it that way and rotate it without getting it all over your hands or all over your clothes. We're doing this outside, obviously. Today is a beautiful day, and you need to paint, especially with the aerosol type spray paint, the can of spray paint, outside. That way you don't get the fumes and everything else. Again, this is water-based, but it's still packed in there with some sort of an aerosol to help it exit the can. So, hey, with that, let's get everything rearranged on the table, get it set up, and then we'll start the painting process. Okay, so you can kind of see here how I've got things starting to line up. We're just going to get rid of some of the pieces that we're not going to use first. Just bring this over and sit it right on those 4 cups like that and prop it up. We're going to get rid of a lot of this stuff here, and we're just really going to focus on this piece first. Now, this is the base, so it's going to be primarily covered up, as you can see, from here to here, so we don't really have to paint this area. So really what I like to do is just sort of kind of give me a sort of a road map right in this area here that I need to paint outside of that area primarily, and we'll do a little overlap as well. But now you can see the framework there. And then we're just going to start painting. I'm going to start on this side. A little bit of overlap. Okay, so we'll let that dry. and then we'll come back and rearrange and start painting some other stuff. Typically only one coat. There's going to be road and curbing along here, and the most of this is going to be completely covered up, but you do want to get the sides to kind of match the whole rest of the display. So let me rearrange this and we'll start our next piece. Okay, you can see how I've kind of got this placed on here. Now this may fly off because it's very light, but we're going to give it a shot and see what happens, at least to begin with. Okay, we'll let that dry and we'll come and get our next piece. Okay, so you see the main piece here, and again, you definitely want to get into these bricks. Now we're going to cover them with grout, but it's important to get in there anyway. So let's just start with a simple coat. We'll get down into the lines here as we go around the top first. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. We're actually gonna flip this over and get the other side so we get a full even coat inside these lines. So let's let this dry and we'll come back. Okay, so while that is drying, we can take this and do the same thing here. Get the curbing as well. Okay, let's go grab the pieces that have dried and turn them back over and we'll finish this up. Okay, so I've got it upside down because I want to get the bottom. You can, hopefully you can kind of see here, you can still see quite a bit of pink there. And so if we spray this way, we cover all of that. Doesn't take much, just a little bit, but that really covers, and you can definitely see it in there. that looks much better. Now you can kind of see the sides are very well covered from any which way that you look at it. Okay, I think that's everything done. Okay, so you can kind of see here of how it's starting to look as it's setting up and still drying. I wanted to put it all together just so you could get some sort of an idea of what it looks like. You can really, I'm trying to get the sun kind of in that picture so you can see the concrete texture on the driveway and the walkway. Now, once that's dry brushed with some grays and light grays, dark grays, and some white highlights, it's gonna look just like concrete, right? And it's gonna sort of match some of the stonework in a way, so it's going to give it some good detail. And then you've got the sidewalk, which is clearly not laying flat. Obviously, once that's down, that's going to match up everything really good and look nice. You can see the curbing of how that looks kind of on the side there. It's got to be cut and trimmed and put on the right way, so that's going to look nice. Obviously, we're going to put the road texture down. That'll be happening relatively soon. That's a pretty simple step. And then you can see how once the sidewalk is down, the steps kind of start to line up. Those will be nice and painted. It'll really start to take shape and pop with the detailed painting that we're about to do. So you can kind of see how it's coming together and how it's going to look. I think it's a good first step in getting everything covered with a black flat water-based spray paint. And now you can kind of see this is our canvas now, of which we can start our actual detailed painting, which is the fun part. It really will come to life. And then once everything is painted, then we'll start gluing pieces and parts down, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that's where we're at with the black flat spray paint. Hopefully this makes sense, and you are good to go. You can kind of see that our dogs are a little bit spoiled. I mean, there are toys littered all over this yard of spoiled dog toys. So, hey, with that, let's end this one. Okay, well, hopefully that made sense on how to take the black water-based spray paint and cover your whole project with a first black coat. And get that on there. That's going to serve as your canvas then of which to work with all of your detailed paints. We're going to go gray, a darker gray, a lighter gray, and then more towards a white for some highlights on all of this. You'll see it come to life and pop. You've got that to look forward to in our next video. That'll be a little bit time consuming. It'll certainly be time consuming for me. I'll speed it up in the post-processing so you don't have to endure the whole thing, but you'll get a good taste of how we're using the paints, what type of paints, what types of brushes, and then the form of which we start putting these on. And I'll try to do a very close-up shot of all of that so you can get a good detailed view of how it's coming together. So, hey, like always, if you've liked this video, make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Again, it helps the channel to grow. It helps me out personally. I appreciate every single one of you that do subscribe, and keep those questions coming. I love to hear from you. I love to hear your thoughts on how this project's going, or maybe how one of your own projects are going, or any other question for that matter inside of this hobby. So I always look forward to your questions. I try to answer every single one of them if I can. So with that, we will talk again real soon. So take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.